Hello, hello. Let me get my little hook, put my mic in the hook. And let's try this. Okay. Let me... Okay. I need to change some audio properties, I think. Let's put up noise suppression. Okay. Plus band equalizer, expander, compressor, and limiter. Band equalizer. Okay. Compressor. Okay. Hmm. Hello, Chrissy. Hi. It's funny because a second ago it was showing 0 watching now. So it looked like I was alone. Oh, yay. I'm just trying to adjust my microphone because it's making some weird sounds. Let me check. Filters. Yeah, so here's the thing. I wasn't going to do anything else today because I had already posted a video, but I've been dragging my feet to do this page for so long now that I was like, you know what? Maybe if I... What's happening here? Oh no, is there a page? No. I don't know why. The book seems to be wonky. It's nothing below it. Well, anyway. Hi, Laurie. Is the sound okay? All right. Good to know, good to know. High mid low. 2.5, 3.7, and expander, compressor, and limiter. Okay. Expander and limiter. Bye for now, Laurie. Is it better? Okay, good. Mid was 2. 2.3. Okay. I'm still just checking my filters. 7, 2.5. Ratio threshold. Output gain. Okay. Hopefully that is good enough. Let me check if the camera is okay. I should have done that ahead of time, but I wasn't exactly planning on streaming anything. So, okay. I think we're good. I started and immediately thought I should probably stream this. Although I did release about 4 gigs in my phone of space. I think I'm still too far away. Is this the correct lens? Am I using the right lens? It's odd. Oh, I'm in ultra wide. Of course, I was never going to be. Gosh, that's insane. All right. Why is it even grabbing the little thing here? Okay, I think that's better. Yes. Okay. Let me try 110%. Yes, I think that's good. Chrissy, my savior. I do admit it was funny afterwards. What I did is basically I am using this paint. It's by Da Vinci. It's called Artemis. Artemis, yes. It's the same as Moonglow, but then use Myth. So that's the same. Now I need a little bit more. I also added a little bit of cerulean blue. Just because I wanted to cool a little bit of this color. And I did prep the page with watercolor sizing. Yes, it's so expensive, Daniel Smith, and I think Da Vinci does an equally great job at it. Although hear that the best one is Shadow Violet by Roman Tremont, because apparently they use a pigment that is not fugitive. Not that it matters to me, because I'm using in coloring books. It really does not matter. I need to remove this, put to the side. I forget that now my camera is closer to my right side. And to be completely honest, I don't love granulating paints all that much, but I do sometimes like to use them. It's just, well, it's not that I don't like them. I actually like them. It's just I feel sometimes they are a little bit overhyped. Because if you get a granulating paint, a single pigment one, and mix with another one, they will separate, so they will become a super granulated color. And usually they're so much more expensive that I rarely find it's worth the expense. Did you walk Banner today? How's he holding on? So I put my tablet. Let me check. Oh my god, I'm almost out of battery on my tablet. Darn it. This is not good. Let me put it to charge. And it's because I have an image. It's probably an AI image because it was from Pinterest, so. Or maybe it was just made in a computer, I think. Not sure. It does have a bit of a painterly look. And I do have a base color. I just want it to be a little. It's going to be a difficult one, in fact. Because I have no idea how to cause the effect. I want to make color shifting effect on the dragon scales. No, I don't know how exactly. But I do have a sample image that I got from Pinterest. And that's what I want to do. Oh, the closer it comes here, it gets cooler. Okay, so I will have to add, I'll get a little more of my moon glow. You removed your gallbladder too, Chrissy? Or are you diabetic? I'm gonna get some phthalo blue now. I'm just mixing, nothing serious going on here. Yes, but this is almost too dark. Oh, diabetic. Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes here at home, I do get, what is it called? It's called a low carb pasta and it's made with a higher protein content because it's made of a different type of grain, lentils, I think. And they're actually pretty good. There's another, it's a mix of two different cereals, and they're both low glycemic index. I think that's the way you say it in English. And it's funny because what am I gonna do? Oh, I think I'm gonna go with manganese blue. And no, this is cerulean blue. I want manganese blue, which is not here, of course. The what the heck? Here. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I did not find it like different in any particular way than the regular one. So I don't know. To me, at least, it felt pretty good. Of course, it's different than the regular one, but I did find it was good. Well, I do have an issue with things that are diet or light. That they have hi Nessa, those things that they are not really sweet but they pretend they are. And because to me they don't taste good, but it's because I can taste an aftertaste, like a bitter aftertaste sometimes. But it's not like horrible. I can take like a no sugar soda, for example, already had dinner. In fact, I think both of you already had dinner. One of you had chicken pot pie, and the other had pasta. By the way, what was the pasta you had? Was it like lasagna or something? It's one thing's funny. Mm, I guess when it's just because my in-law is diabetic. I think I mentioned that to you in, I think it was Coloring View. No, I was watching another live stream and you were there. Oh, I think it was Renee's live stream. And I did mention that my in-law, she's diabetic too, and we do, well, not everyone, but I do. When I go to her place, everything is zero sugar, and she has a real sweet tooth. But for some reason, I when I taste things that are zero sugar, they actually taste much sweeter to me. Yes, I think it was Renee's, and for some reason, I feel it's too sweet. I don't know why, but my body feels that it is too sweet when we use sweetener instead of sugar. But then again, I only have the sugar teeth when I is that sugar teeth, sugar tooth? Don't remember. But I only have that when I'm very much. Why is it not turning pretty? I want it to turn pretty. Okay, found it. Um, but I do feel they turn too sweet, and I only have a sweet tooth when I'm. Well, typically I only had sweet tooth when I was PMSing. However, ever since perimenopause decided to say hello to me, it can happen in the middle of the freaking night. Oh yes, of course, always test first. Well, my in-law, they were telling her the other day, and I was really, I don't know, I'm feeling iffy about her doctor because her diabetes can be quite out of control. She already uses insulin, and I figured, why are they not prescribing something like, you know, maybe those GLP-1 thing medications for her? I mean, here the public health system pays for it, so she could. Of course, it has a bit of red tape, but it's not that much, really. Oh, that's good. That's really good. My in-law, unfortunately, her glycemic index is really all over the place, depending on the day. Hello, Hadassah. How are you? I'm just looking at my reference picture here. Yes, my in-law, she takes the latest two, metformin and Foxygon. Those she does, but this first one, I do not know if she does. But she was taking all of the medication plus insulin, and it was still not controlled, her diabetes. What happened? Why are you doing so? Hello, craft time with Yaya. How are you? welcome to the Fox Den. I don't think I saw you before here. But then again, I do have the memory of a goldfish, so. You know, poor little things. I actually saw a study that proved that they didn't have a bad memory. But we still use the term memory of a goldfish. Poor little things. Okay, I'm gonna need. I think. I can't take Jardians. I'm allergic to it. It made my heart race. Oh, that sucks. I can't take pain medication. Certain pain medication gives me a really heavy tachycardia heart race thing. Yes, I figured. I have not seen you around before, but you're very welcome to the Fox Den. Hope you're having a wonderful creative time. Or just chilling, whatever floats your boat in the moment. Especially because most people are from the Northern Hemisphere, so they usually are really late, unless you're in the Pacific time zone. Oh, oh yes, you did mention your chronic back pain. Oh, that sucks. Yes, I didn't even go to the gym this week yet because my ankle and my wrist, they're both really out of sorts lately. And I think I'm gonna use this one. I need a larger brush now because I need a lot more water. And I need to cover a larger area because I can't keep doing this with this tiny thingy here. I'm using watercolor for those who arrived after I mentioned. I did treat this page with watercolor sizing. It's not watercolor ground, it's watercolor sizing. And I am part of a Dragonspell buddy group. But I did my first page, which was, I think, the December page. And I haven't done anything else since. Yes, it's still worse, right? And then this month, the group voted, I mean, the active parts of the group, because when I'm not coloring that page, I'm not going, or for a month or so without coloring on that book. I tend not to vote just because I'm not in the groove. I don't know if I'm going to color or not, so I'm just going to stay out of it. But I do stay in the group. Some people leave the group after you lose the groove. I don't. I just like to feel inspired by what people are doing in the group. Oh yes, as I said, the sizing is a million times better because sizing does not change the property of the paper. In watercolor ground, it kind of makes it plasticky, right? So you will get a little bit of tooth, just barely anything really of the paper if the paper really is super smooth, but that's it. And it's barely anything. It's the same as printer paper tooth. I mean, barely any tooth at all. Most papers, printer paper has no tooth, almost no tooth, and no bleed through. Thank goodness. And I did try on this book to use watercolors without the sizing, and it was terrible. It just broke into lots of dots. And they're not the dots that after they dry to go away. They very much stayed. And there I am with the. There is a hair. Yeah, of course there is. So yes, I do find the sizing works much better. It's the same that Auntie Chris was talking about during Auntie's live stream. It's Holbein, I think it's called a multi-sizing liquid. But mine is the generic version. I buy it from AliExpress. Mine is called Kidasen watercolor repair sizing repair solution. I think that's what it's called. And I do have a video about this, and in the description of that video, I have the link to the product that I'm using. You know, if you are all in Audrey's Fairy Tale and Folklore group on Instagram, but she was sharing her videos. She shared one of Tango on her mini vacation, and oh my god, Tango is so beautiful. I have two left feet. I'm no good for dancing, but it is so beautiful. I have to admit, I have to give that to the Argentinians. They are pretty good. Yay! Welcome back, Laurie. I'm glad you can hear me now. Let me see. Oh, I think here we've got a little bit. Just updating you and everyone in the chat. I'm going to repeat what I just said. I prepped this page with watercolor sizing solution, and I'm basing with watercolor for the scales. And I don't know still what I will do with these leafy thingies. Really do not know. Because my initial plan was to do a silverish bluish dragon with some scales like chameleon style when they change color shifting, right? But I do not know what exactly I'm going to do yet. Thank you, Nessa. That's a color that no longer exists. In fact, this is manganese blue, PB33. And I did a little something to this page. Sorry if I can hear the song. But I sized this page with watercolor sizing solution, which again is not watercolor ground. And I forgot I had done that. So I decided to go and size this again. And now it's like hard sized paper that basically the paint beads on top of it. Of course that eventually it does seep through normally, but for the first few seconds. Can you see this? Let me lift it. It's because don't go around falling on me. It goes through normally afterwards, but at first it goes like this. That's because I sized twice the same paper. Hi, View. Hello. Oh, you're really big. Thank you, because you shared me like twice, I think, or 3 times. I don't know, but you share me a lot every time I've been live this week, and I think the last one too. So thank you so much, View. Thank you for the support, especially when I do crazy impromptu streams. Yeah, see, it's all normal, all working fine now, but for the first layer that I put water on, this is beads up. But that was my fault, you know. Usually I write it down like here. See? Watercolor sized. But I hadn't. Had one of those post-it things and I had written the post-it and of course I lost the post-it. So I was not sure whether or not I had sized it. I thought I had sized it, but I should have trusted myself and not resized again. But I sized again. Oh well. I'm just fixing my throat that I have in the back of my chair. It's of course that my cat had show up. It wouldn't be a stream of mine without my cat. Oh, of you, gosh. If I had found this for $5, I probably would have bought two of them. Just because it was so incredibly cheap. Because I have to be honest, they are not exactly cheap here. Although now that the dollar is devaluing a little bit compared to the Brazilian currency, I'm literally just using water here, sort of removing the excess sizing, pre-wetting the paper. But they're not normally very cheap here. They're not super expensive, but they're not exactly cheap either. Um, I think the cheapest books I can get here is probably Mayo. And it's funny, some Korean books, when they appear on Amazon or on Shopee, which is a different another marketplace, then this happens. Oh, hello, Adri. Thank you, Hadasan. Thank you so much. Yes, now that YouTube has the post functionality that you can make a post kind of like on Instagram, then now you can share whatever you want on that post, including someone's live. I do that a lot with Adri and Annika when I'm at home because I never know how to do that just on my phone. Okay, I think this part here also should be blue because this is also part of the scales. And I'm on my tablet recording now. No, not my phone, but it's not my regular phone. It's my aunt had this old phone laying around and I started to use it to record because apparently my tablet was messing up with the colors big time. My iPad. The other day, I think it was a planet that said long time no see, Wall. Yes, yes, I highly recommend it. Oh, there you go. I left the space for you to jump there. Go ahead and jump. My cat wants to jump into the shelf. Oh, yes, I definitely cannot share everyone all the time. And I always give preference to the when I watch live streams, I see, oh, the average amount of people online into that person's live stream is what, 11, 12, 15, 17? If it's below 20, I usually will give preference to them to share just to give some support to smaller content creators. Wow, you do 10 a week. I don't think I do even that, maybe 6. It's because for me to do that, I need to see that the person is live, and because my time zone is different than most people, most of the time when I see it, people live, they already did the live. For example, I like to always share Jackie's live streams, even though she doesn't do them too often, but I like to share her live streams because I do think, well, it's just she taught me a lot. Not like all the technique, but she taught me how to loosen up. I am really tight with the way I color, and I'm learning to be a bit more loose. I'm learning to have bajillion whips and not get insomniac about it, stuff like that. Yes, we are very grateful. But Audrey is one of the people. Audrey and Annika are two of the people I usually share, and also I think I shared Chris's. Yes, Laurie, Jackie's style is beautiful, and it takes a certain time of detachment of your own book to be able to do what she does because she knows the paper will wrinkle, sometimes tear and peel, and everything else. She's very much aware of that. Oh, goodness. I don't know why fireworks this time. Okay, let me see my reference photo. And it's a photo I literally Googled. Um, Dragon's Eye. Glowy colors. That's what I Googled. Dragon's Eye glowy colors. Yes. I always try to share yours, Audrey, because, well, it was because of that teeny weeny bad hater you got. I wanted to show him that your channel is gonna grow, and it's gonna grow faster than he can subscribe or unsubscribe and whatever silly thing he was doing. Because Adri and I, we share a WhatsApp. Because I know Americans don't use WhatsApp, but uh, most people in South America use WhatsApp. And we were talking about that that ugly little hater that you've got. And I was so mad. I said, you know what? How can I fight this guy without him knowing I'm fighting him? How can I sabotage this tiny little hater that doesn't have anything better to do than to go to my friend's channel and bother her there? So I was like, you know what? I got to find a way to do something. And that's when I realized we could share the live. And that's when I started sharing Audrey's live streams because now he's blocked, but he wasn't before. And I was just waiting. I was like, I was waiting for that little nut job to appear when I wasn't alive. He would hear some things he would not be happy to hear. I was like, if your mama didn't teach you how to be nice to people, someone ought to teach you. Yes, I'm very happy that we are 90% of the time drama free. Except sometimes stuff happens with Sir Rene Clark, because every other chat I get in, someone is complaining about Sir Rene Clark. Which I get it, I'm not judging because I have my own issues with the color cubes. And I don't recommend people buying that. I only did it because of my art class, not because of coloring. I don't use it for coloring at all. But yes, sometimes. Well, there's everywhere, Nissa. And I think that considering that our community has been growing a little bit, especially ever since the cozy coloring stuff, it's very little. Yes, I like her videos. One of my favorite videos by Sarah Rennie Clark was her Lightfest testing because she used a really nice approach. And in fact, she was doing something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, but I lacked the funds for that. So when she decided to do it, I was like, yes, finally someone is going to do it. Someone that can financially do that. So I don't hate her. I just did not like the fact that she didn't give much support for her older customers. That's all. And also, I find it a very expensive product. And I kept, after I bought it, I was like, I even told Audrey this the other day. I was like, How many coloring books could I have bought with it? You know, oh, Laurie, don't even tell me about this because I've got a few hate comments on other people's channels that I commented from people I follow because they're art channels, and then people go into my profile and see that I color. So that happened already. Someone said something like, "Oh, don't worry, your art is wonderful." I had said, the content creator said, "I hated this drawing." And I said, "Your drawing turned out pretty okay for a first time using this medium." I don't know exactly what, maybe it was wash, I don't know. It was like, the drawing turned out pretty okay. And again, it's a sketchbook, right? So, and then someone, I don't know why, decided to comment on my comment, replied me and said, "Don't worry." I don't know, Emma? I think it's Emma, Emmy, I don't know. And says, "Your drawing is beautiful. Never mind this colorist person saying that it looks okay." I was like, I was making a compliment. And for a moment, I thought it was me. Like, maybe I'm using English wrong. I don't know. But even another person posted something like, I don't remember. Yes, I think it was a teacher, an English teacher, that posted the meaning of the word okay, and how I even commented and I said, "Oh, if that's what it sounded like, I apologize, because what I meant is she hated, but there's no reason to hate it because it's pretty good." And even an English teacher posted and replied and said, "She literally just said what she meant. And if you don't understand that, then the problem is in your interpretation and not in what the other person said." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, English teacher, for standing up to me. I guess I'm not that wrong after all. I might be an English teacher, but I am an English teacher for second language, and I do not ever claim to know more than someone who is native to that language, you know?" Okay, I think we need to warm it up. Yes, uh-huh. That is, I don't know if that is that. I think in UK it's probably not that way because most of the channels I know are actually from the UK, and apparently the coloring hobby is pretty prevalent there. But I could be wrong. I haven't been to the UK for 20 years. But yes, exactly. This is why my channel is called Lucy Fox Arts. I draw too. I do other things. I do my crazy experiments, transforming new colors into little pen paints. I do bookbinding, even though I haven't recorded any kind of bookbinding on my channel yet. Yes, that's the problem of a world who thinks everyone is entitled to share their opinion. Everyone's entitled to have one, and sometimes not even have one, to be completely honest. But everyone thinks they're entitled to share their opinion. Okay, now I need more manganese blue. That's my cat jumping. I apologize, I know it's shaking. And you know, I've been thinking, I always feel I'm a very chill person, but I got in a bit of a in a bit of an argument with someone in a comment section of another video. It was from a watercolor artist. Yes, it's true. The sad misery loves company. And someone, um, I I don't remember the context of what's happening. Let me think. I think it was the content mentioned something about the toxicity of certain pigments. Yes, and I replied saying that toxicity level for end users is very low, and the care should be more for manufacturers of paints and also for people that mine the pigments and the minerals that can be toxic. The final user rarely will have the chance to intoxicate himself unless it's very much willingly. So, as long as you have good studio practice, you wash your hands after you paint, you don't drink your paint water, and don't put your brushes in your mouth. Don't eat the paint. Don't snort the paint. And I know it should go without saying, but sometimes I feel like that's why the box of eggs says contains egg. And I explained because she mentioned she's immunocompromised, the content creator, and I said I am immunocompromised myself, and I kind of, oh gosh, yeah, it's just pure ignorance. Ugh, gosh, and it's just silly. But I don't like fear mongering. I don't like. Oh, I usually don't. I usually don't get into debates. But as a healthcare worker, I really don't like with people fear mongering because, especially if you're a person's immunocompromised, the odds are she already is very deprived of a lot of things. Like sometimes it's just, oh, you can't eat that or you can't do this. Yes, very much so, Khadisa. Oh my god. Was an artist who said that? Ouch, really ouch. Yes, that's the thing. You are correct, View, but sometimes I just can't help myself, especially when I feel like people fear mongering can cause harm to that person. All right, nice walk. Give some cuddles on banner for me. I usually only do. I respond if someone replies to me in anywhere. Doesn't matter if it's here or Instagram. Doesn't matter. If someone replies to me specifically, I will reply them. And if they're being just rude or silly or prejudiced in any way, then it's just no, nope, no, 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 no. We are not doing that. And then I feel I need to step in and say something. But I don't go like, you know, I don't call people rude. I don't go calling them names. I just give a reasonable explanation for what either I commented before or for what I'm going to comment on someone's reply or thread or whatever. That's all. Because I think that when I took my oath, my job is to not spread misinformation. And I think that sometimes that means actively fighting it. For example, that she was saying, "Oh, I'm not going to use cadmium paints because they're super toxic." Hadassah said, "Good thing I don't go live because YouTube would shut me down for cussing them out." But I don't. I don't. I rarely ever do because I tend to think that that kind of makes you lose your argument immediately. And I always try to be as understanding as possible, even with someone who is being a bit unreasonable sometimes. But I do try first to give the person the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that person just, for example, with the other night with the troll girl, I was like, Maybe she didn't understand what I meant. Or maybe she didn't mean it in a rude way, whatever she was saying. Yeah, I think people don't understand that AI exists for years now. AI is good for certain things. For example, AI has been used. The real name of AI is called machine learning, and machine learning have been used ever since the first computer was invented. And of course, that it has evolved leaps and bounds ever since, but it's a very old concept. Yes, Google search was always a form of machine learning, and now is basically fully AI. Yes, I personally, and this is a personal stand, I do not judge anyone that thinks differently. And you know who I might say I do feed AI by training AI models to find scientific articles on healthcare, and to teach it to learn how to separate good articles from bad articles, level of evidence and stuff. So machine learning is part of life. What I do not support is generative AI, and it's not even the concept or the principle, it's just how sneaky it was done. It started in a really bad way because it didn't get consent from people, because it stole people's styles and line work, and no copy and a bunch of copyright infringement that just got away with it. But that was the inception of generative AI for the general population, especially in art. I do think that we should focus machine learning for all the things, but I'm not against it. Yes, the thing with the water lorry is the water, everything that has a server, the computer, the internet, archives of the internet, literally internet archive. Everything uses an incredible amount of server power, and that requires incredible amount of cooling. It's not just AI. Yes, pretty much, Nessa. What I do think is the creators of the generative AI as it is today, the model like ChatGPT and others, they do not have the best intentions in mind. That's my opinion. Yes, that's true, Adri. There are many ways to recycle water. It's just not being used. Also, that's actually one of the things that I was arguing with the person on the comment section of the poor watercolor artist, because she was talking about toxicity. Yes, and then someone commented, welcome, welcome to the Fox Den. Just getting my hoodie out because my aunt arrived home and she turned on the AC, so it's time to get hot in here for my standards. And I do think that somehow, and this is my impression, I could be absolutely wrong. I'm not an expert on what I'm about to say. I'm just giving an opinion here. Is that, how do I put this? People lost the ability to understand nuance, I think. And it's something similar that happened with medication and cosmetic and stuff like that. Because like the toxicity of pigments, right? They are toxic, but it doesn't mean they're toxic just for existing. cobalts, and for example, cobalt is actually made, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the stuff used to help people get rid of radiation poisoning. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. Yes, Kim. For example, cobalt. They are not venom. Yeah, it's exactly. And in fact, I was very graphic with my comment. I said, unless you're planning to get the pure pigment, mold it down, put it in a line, and snort like it was an illegal drug, then I don't think you have anything to worry about. Because cadmium, the most dangerous part is getting in touch with your lungs. So people that mine them, I am using, what watercolor I'm using? This is Da Vinci. I'm using Da Vinci Artemis, which is their version of Moonglow by Daniel Smith. And I'm using cerulean blue, which this one, I'm also using manganese blue, but they're all bought from Da Vinci Paints. But I will be using soon this one. Let me see if I can scooch it over a little bit. This one, this bright one here, is White Nights. It's a neon pink. Love the neon pink. But I was explaining that the other problem with that would be disposing of the paint in waterways. You can decant the water paint, you can filter, even use a regular coffee filter if you want as well, and then you can dispose of the water. Yes, exactly, Nessa. I mean, unless you want your heart to stop, don't eat it. Yes, it's true. And also, that's another thing I mentioned. People forget that cadmiums, cobalts, and even other natural minerals that have potential to be toxic, they can be inert to the soil, and they are natural to the soil, to stones, to the ground, and even to water. Because people think, oh, but the water is being contaminated. There is more illegal drugs inside the water, the city waters, than it is any pigment. I assure you. There was a research done in New York and with a cohort here in Brazil. And it was done in Sao Paulo in Brazil because it's the most popular city in the country, and they did in New York. And you know, they found out that the amount of certain stimulant white powder drug was 10 times the ideal limit. There is no ideal limit, but it was 10 times what they expected it to be, so to speak. So fish are probably getting high instead of intoxicated by cadmiums. And then people go and say, oh, but the water, you don't think about the water. First of all, cadmium should not go in the water. You have to decant your paint, your water paint, and paint water. And after that, you throw it either in the trash or you go to, depending on the city and the regulations of the country and the state and the province, wherever it is you live, you have to dispose this adequately. And if you do that correctly, for example, in my city, there is actually a paint manufacturer. It's an industrial paint thing, wall paint and stuff. And they actually collect all of this material because much of it they can reutilize. They can filter it and separate again as a chemical process, and they can use it again. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it they can. And the ones that can, they actually do the proper disposal with the industrial transport of hazardous trash, garbage and stuff. So, anyway, I merely explained that fact, just gave a bit of information. And then the person replied with, I don't know, a stone in her hands, kind of, And that's why I felt I had to reply. Yes, in fact, in my city, the factory, if you call them, um, and you have more than a small, I was going to say a bucket, but it's not even a bucket, more than a glass like this, they actually come to your house and collect it for you. You know, I don't even have to get out of the house to dispose of it properly. And I explained that not using cadmiums if because that content creator really loved the cadmium colors. Yes, as well. Here hardware stores usually take batteries and old tech stuff, circuits, motherboards, old keyboards and mouse and stuff like that. Now I'm going to get a little bit more of my Artemis, and I'm going to darken this spot right here. I'm doing Artemis plus Phthalo Blue because I want it to cool the paint a little bit. In fact, I might change to Stormy Blue, which is Indanthrene Blue plus Indian Red. I think I'm gonna go with Stormy Blue. Yes, on my list. Let's get some Stormy Blue. And I just explained, and that person just said, yeah, clearly you are deflecting and you are in cognitive dissonance because you just want to make excuses for your laziness. And I was like, excuse me? What laziness? I filter my water. I collect and harvest rainwater, and I have a reverse osmosis filter, so even my rainwater is suitable to drink. So I could actually filter myself the paint water if I wanted. I just prefer the city to do it because I prefer the pigment to go to a factory, the residual pigment. I was like, how is that being irresponsible and lazy? You know, I merely stated that you are fear mongering the lady who loved the cadmium colors and did not want to get close to the cadmium colors because she's immunocompromised and she was afraid of getting sick from it. And I just gave her the real information about it. And then she was like, yeah, but there's studies done. I said, yes, there's studies done. Did you know who took the studies? Miners. And as much as I wish I could say, oh, let's sabotage all of the cadmium mines and all the kind of mineral mines, let's do that. Well, it doesn't matter because we as artists, we only get the leftover from the automotive industry and other industries, in fact. So even if every artist stopped using them, it would still be manufactured. It would still be harvested. So it's not about that. Yes, but it could harm the planet. Yes, it can harm the planet, but you do know that these substances were already there on the planet when humans arrived on Earth. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that I'm like. I feel like and this is the kind of thing I need to educate people on sometimes. And I heard a lot of fear mongering, and I hate fear mongering because I had to deal with it as a child. Um, because I have an autoimmune disease. I had two actually, and or two in one. And some people said, "Oh, it's because you eat meat." So I would spend a year not eating meat. Oh, you are. This is because you don't take sun. You don't go to the sun as much. And then I would go. Thank you. This is Stormy Blue. This latest one I'm doing for the shadows here. It's Indanthrene Blue plus Indian Red. And Indanthrene Blue is a color that I think is so underrated. It's so good. I really like this color. And Stormy Blue is a convenient mix made by Denise Soden, but you can mix it your own. just fine. If you have Indian red, if you have Indian trim blue, you can make it. Yes, it's a beautiful night sky blue. And then the person, I wrote basically a dissertation of all of the scientific research that exists on it and yada yada. And I was like, so you can call me whatever you want, but not irresponsible. And it's not even for that. I was like, just stop fear mongering the poor OP because she's an immunocompromised person that is trying to protect herself, but also depriving herself of things she loves for it. In that case, it's just unnecessary. With good studio practices, you should not worry about it. But I was like, if you felt the need to reply, then okay. And then she was like, okay, so just don't hurt the planet, okay? Because I like living in it. And I swear to God, I almost said something really prejudiced for her. I almost said, you must be vegan. Almost said that. But I refrained myself. I took a deep breath and I said, no, I'm not going to say that. And I don't have anything directly against vegan, but very little times I have people yelling at me for ending the planet because I'm eating meat. Yes, exactly. I mean, I felt really sad because this artist is Jessie something. I forgot her name. She was swatching all of the My Mighty Blue watercolors, and she bought all of the tubes, and she was not ever going to use all the cadmiums unless for swatching. So she swatched and said, "Oh my god, this color is beautiful. Oh, but it's a cadmium. I can't use it." I was like, "Sure you can, unless you plan on eating that paint or drinking it or whatever, you know, using in a recipe. Then you definitely can." And I was like, "Ah." And then I answered her, the lady that kind of attacked me in the comments, and I said, "You are the one who came here being judgmental, rude, and attacked me for no reason when I am giving proper information for a person that deserves to have the right information." And I didn't even tell her that I do make paints because I don't use cadmium paints. I mean, I don't make them. I make like, I don't know, 5 colors, and that's it. I make Prussian blue. I made, was it PY3? No, it was PY150, I think. No, that's Nico's yellow. PY154, I think. And I learned real quick what fear mongering can do. When I'm not doing anything on screen, I'm just mixing my paint here in my little ceramic dish. I'm gonna need some indentation blue, some pure indentation blue. I was like, no, today I'm not going to let it light. No, Kitty, no, you're not. I'm using watercolors. You can't come up here. No, shush, 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 shush. Go, go, go. Do you still sell online? Do you have like an online store for your paints, or you just sell locally now? Because I remember you said something that you sold it online for a little bit. Oops, I actually need to check. Yes, okay. I'm going to need my Stormy Blue again, which is number 3. In fact, no, I think I'm gonna change to Mayan Dark Blue. To be 82. Thank you, Audrey. No store, those things are watercut. Yes, it's true. That's why I only made them for myself. Oh gosh, only now I noticed that my chat was in top chat, not live chat. If I missed anyone's message, please. Message again if I lost your message and I didn't answer you. I apologize, I do not see it. Yes, I notice I am off screen. I apologize. When I need to zoom in like this, I keep forgetting. That you can't see everything I'm doing. Oh, okay. Oh, this needs to be really dark. Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go make it really dark. Yes, Nessa, you can't be precise and reproduce colors exactly each time. Yes, when we do it manually, it's hard to be super consistency. Super consistent, I mean. What I've been dying to try is those handmade watercolors that they have the chameleon pigments and oh, I love it. There is Dreamland Watercolor, I think that's her name. She makes those, and I was like, wow. I was really impressed. Beautiful, beautiful watercolors. But it's $9.50 for one pen. And yes, granted, there's a lot of pigment there, but just the shipping is twice as much to me. So, but I think that when you sell this something that is handmade, no one expects to be exact all the time. Even paint manufacturers don't make it exact all the time. Yes, it's a good price. It's just uh, if I buy online from that girl's store, for instance, the shipping will cost me $27. So it was just not. It was just no. I wanted to, initially to support her because she makes beautiful paint, but I was like, oh, that's a bit hefty for me. And if I bought 4 pans, 3 pans, the wall still the same. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. Canadian dollar is 1 to 3 to my currency, and American is 1 to 5. The sterling pound is 1 to almost 7, and the euro is 1 to almost 6. It's actually it did reach 6 earlier this year. Now I want Stormy Blue again. I want a little bit more than 3. And I think the Aussie dollar is 280 to mine. Roughly 280, almost 3. Sometimes it gets to 2, the Aussie dollar. Here. Found it. Oh yes, I I was looking for it when I was looking for the prices of things, Adri, and I saw that it's a really wacky exchange rate. This is going to be only here. And I'm using the cheapest brush possible. It's Faber-Castell Kids brush. And it doesn't bother me one bit. In fact, it's very cheap. I've been keeping them around because I was doing the gouache tutorial. And I like using these cheap brushes for gouache. Oh, okay. But you also work with regular pigments, right? Because when you do with regular, you can write what they are, as in what the pigment number and stuff. Just when you make the botanical ones. Also, don't forget that the original paints were mostly all of them botanical and with unlabeled minerals. Nowadays, that we're all crazy for pigment information, pigment light fastness, all that stuff. Russian blue, PP27. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to need a black. But my black is a brown black. I'm going to use neutral tint. Brentonical green earth, yellow ochre. Yes, yes. Okay, go for it. Sorry for being quiet, but I'm just trying to mess it up this little corner. Ooh, which I almost did. Oh, yes, of course, yes. That makes perfect sense. Sorry. Wow, I've been streaming for over an hour now? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna finish the shadow for the eyes for today, and I think that will be it. Yes, no, you're very much correct, Mason. And I recorded my video about the myths of color pencil and stuff like that. And discovered that my mic had died halfway through the video, so I lost a little bit over half of my audio. I was not happy about that. Going to have to record all over again. I need to swatch on my Holbein, so I'm thinking I'm gonna record myself swatching and do a voiceover. Luckily, my battery of my microphone did last through the both wash episodes I recorded. So I'm glad about that part. Bye, Hadassah. Thank you so much for joining. You're always welcome here in the Fox Den. I will not go to super late this time. Okay, I need more neutral tint. Ah, Adri, I would have gone insane. I didn't even edit that video because I didn't have space in my tablet, not my tablet, nor my phone. They were all filled up to the brim. So I had to just upload it the way it was. The only thing I did was to speed it up a little bit. I'm gonna need to darken it even more. Kim, let me see. Kim B312 Color says, "Is this month's page?" Yes, for the Dragonspell group, exactly. I started in December, never went back to take part in the group. I mean, I'm part of it, but I don't color it anymore. Oh, Kitty, no, 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 no. Oh, goodness. There was a day I streamed for like 7 hours, Audrey, but I was really depressed that day. I just needed to distract myself. And it was actually pretty good because it helped a lot. So, no, I don't know. I don't even know what number I said, but I meant to say 6 hours. But anyway, I did the December page, and then I lost my mojo on this book. I don't know why. I just couldn't feel the pull to color in it again. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna not color in it because I'm not gonna do that to myself. You know, I'm not gonna, oh, you have to color whatever you were doing before. Nope. If I can, if I don't have the time, or if I just don't feel like it's absolutely fine, you know? I do think it's a good time, Audrey. Although I'm thinking on Saturdays I should stream for a little longer. Maybe 2 hours and a half. I'm thinking of streaming a little earlier, half an hour early than I usually do. Nissa said, when you have insomnia, send me a message, because sometimes I have it too. We can keep each other distracted. And your time zone is similar to mine, isn't it? I do think you're not too much further ahead than me, I think. Well, yeah, I was kind of feeling kind of like that with this one. But then the group chose this page, I was like, I think I like to color this page. The water thing, you know, those things interest me. I'm in a very let's paint water vibes ever since April. Yeah, I have no idea why, but you know, I was like, okay, this is more water for me, yay. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm not in too many groups. I am in, I think, three groups. It's Dragonspell, Fairy Tales and Folklore, which is managed by Adri, and the other is by Adri and Paulina. Fairy Tale Worlds by Maria Trolle, and that is a bit too much for me already. Oh, actually, no. I also on Magical Worlds by Erica at Colors. I'm also in that group, and it's funny because that one is the same. Is the one I actually feel more consistent with. But that's because that book in particular, that in Rules of Wonder and Magical Worlds, both of them, they inspire a lot of creativity in me, and I like to experiment and play with it. So that's why it's working out. But the others I did, it's exactly because I wasn't coloring much on them, and I wanted to color more in my Maria Trolle books. For example, I do want to give some love to my Orstuder, because I haven't broken ground in that book yet. And I really want to be able to do that. Hello, Jen. Welcome to the Fox Den. Oh, I don't think I've seen you. Did I see you? No, I think I saw you in my channel before. Or did I see you in another chat? No, I think you are either in Renee's chat or in Jane's chat. But I don't remember if you have been in any of my live streams before. So if you haven't, welcome to the Fox Den. And if you have been here before, welcome back to the Fox Den. Oh yes, it was an Amy Watt art chat, exactly. Why am I thinking Renee? Everything today I'm thinking it was in Renee's chat. Hello, Chris. Hola, Chris. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Te sientes bien? Yes, I've been in yours, Audrey. Oh, Jen was also in yours. Yes, it's true. I saw her today, earlier today. Je estoy muy bien también. It's been a while since I didn't practice my Spanish. I need to travel to Argentina or Paraguay again so I can practice a little bit more. Even though my neighbor is actually from Argentina and she thinks she speaks Portuguese, she doesn't. She speaks a slightly slower version of Spanish. And therefore most people can understand her here. I'm wetting it down just to blend a little bit. And that will be pretty much it for this paints, and then I need to go in with my pinks. Let me see. Nessa, Lori, Chris, Jen, Kim. Oh, Kim hablas español también. Very nice. And Chrissy is here too, if I'm not mistaken. She did come back from Walking Banner, I think. And View was here a little while ago. I'm not sure if she's still in. Oh, awesome, Kim. I taught Spanish as a second language for mostly teenagers and adults here in Brazil. That's way back when we barely had any Spanish teachers here, and that's why I could make a kind of like a it's kind of like an associate degree. I think the equivalent to America would be an associate degree, I think. I know it's not a bachelor degree, something less than. But anyway, it's something similar. And I did take that for teaching and also for language as a foreign language, to teaching other languages as foreign languages. I'm staring at the photo, which is, I don't know if the painter a photo of this dragon eye here. And I am tempted. Yes, I'm definitely gonna do that. I need my Prussian blue now. So I'm gonna use every blue I've got. Mix it just a tad bit with my Mayan blue. Going to. And Adri, I was telling you about the troll girl. That was the whole thing. Is she was upset that I think I corrected her Spanish or something like that. She said that gringo is Spanish slang, and I told her that etymologically the term gringo comes from green because that's the camouflage clothes that foreigners used to use, and go as in just the English verb go. That's how the origin of the slang came about, and then she was really upset that I should not tell people about their language. And then I had asked her where she was from, and she said she was from California. I was like, okay. And she said California is an international state, and I confess I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Because last time I checked, if a Mexican person wants to cross the border, he will be arrested as an illegal. So I don't know what that means, what that was supposed to mean. But that was so fun. Oh, this is so nice, Adri. You taught English as a second language for those for them to get their citizenship exam. Amazing. That's what I initially thought as well, Kim. That's what I had thought. But then she said that Mexico doesn't speak real Spanish, it's all a bunch of slang. And no one else in the entire Center and South and North America speaks Spanish. So I was like, oh, that's odd. So I'm not sure what she meant because from then on, everything else she said sounded a bit off to me. And it was not the first time she's been in my live stream. She said in another live stream I was talking about when I went to the West Coast. I spent 3.5 months traveling through the entire West Coast of the United States. And I was talking about the homeless people that I met and how lucky I was that they all of them was um, that all the people I met, even the homeless ones, were extremely kind to me because I know people throw shade at Americans. Oh, because they are not nice, the other. Actually, they are. I mean, everywhere I've been in the United States, I've been really well treated. Mine is New York, but then again, New York is a whole different thing. So I was like, mm, I don't know. But then she was really upset that I don't know my own language. And why would I have to know my own language? I don't know. Because Spanish is not my own language. Yes, that's exactly that thing, Nessa. Like Annika would said, I think Annika said something about the whip police during our coloring. And yes, language police is an issue to me because everyone can speak whatever language they feel like learning, and that's it. You can't tell a person that's learning Spanish for a decade or maybe speaks Spanish for 20 years, even if it's not their mother tongue. She said she was from California. Yes, I've heard about that, Nissa. Isn't something about speaking the Quebecois French Quebecois or something like that? And the fact that Quebec is supposed to be francophonic, so they prefer you not to use English. I have a really distant cousin. I think his third degree or fourth degree cousin. Technically, this is not even biologically related anymore at this point. But that I heard about that. He moved to Quebec. He lived in Sherbrooke, Quebec. So I think he still lives there. And I just haven't spoken to him in years. But when he came back to visit us a while back, he did mention exactly what you said. That people really didn't like when you spoke a language that wasn't French, and just not French, the Quebecois French, because it's different, it's its own dialect. I'm not completely against that when you are like a state that speaks a language and is isolated in a place where most other provinces or states around you actually speak a different language. I understand that. So I understand the feeling that you need to preserve that language cultural aspect of yourself as a just social group. I understand that part. I also think that sometimes we need to give people a bit of grace because they don't always know. When I've been to France, I do not speak French. I did study it, but I don't speak it. I don't consider myself that I speak it in any way. I studied for like 2 years. No, German I've been studying for 2 years. It's 3.5 years I studied French. So I can understand listening to it a good chunk. I can get the gist of the idea when I hear someone speaking French, but I'm not good enough to have a full on conversation in French. I was about to ask you that, Nissa, because when I went to France and they found out I only spoke English, I was completely. People would deliberately not look in my face. Yes, Chris says, I don't know if there is any such thing as a pure language, except in isolated tribal sorts of situations, maybe. Yes, you are correct. There are, I think, three um, tribal languages that have been isolated for so long that their language resembles absolutely nothing that we study and know as a language, even though they are clearly possess a structure of their own and stuff like that. But I think there are only three tribes in the world, so that's definitely um, a testament to the fact that no language is an island, no person is an island, no society is completely isolated. At least not large enough and destined to survive a society. Wait, you legally discriminated against? Legally? I've never been to Quebec, so I cannot speak of that. Non anywhere in Quebec. I've only been to Canada in places they actually speak English. except Alberta, because I think Alberta is half and half. I think half Francophonic and half Anglophonic, I think. I imagine Montreal is too big, isn't it? I mean, it's probably a big melting pot at this point. It's got to be full of immigrants. What? What happened? What happened? Oh no, not again. He lost the device. Why did he lose the device? Can you all still hear me? Okay, good. Because it seems to be recording fine, but then the OBS says it lost its device. I... That's odd. To me, it just shows a grey screen with a little camera with a line crossing on top. That for some reason, this cannot be connected. What the heck? Just because I was so happy with this new software. Because with this one, I can actually zoom properly and it doesn't mess up with the colors. Well, I'm still here. No, nothing. It just says it's the same sign for the camera, the grey camera, and a line on top saying like it's not working. So it's the exact same thing. Why? I do not know. And it does say inactive. Well, I am still here. I'm just trying to resolve that issue. Feel free to chit chat because I am still reading. It's like the old good telephone call. You guys remember when it had to dial on the phone and the numbers would make a circle and then go back? And that's how you had to dial to your friends, and you usually stayed in the kitchen. I will connect. Yes, the dial, exactly, yeah. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to need to close the window. And I need to know, yes, trust this computer. And yes, it's me looking at my face. Now I need to open Camera Studio on the computer. That was actually really nice times. You still have that phone? Even my late grandpa, by the time he left us, he didn't have it anymore. Well, he had it in his office, it's just as paperweight. He's looking for my camera. Wait, Audrey, what never happened to you? The camera dying, or you never had to dial a phone to use a dial keyboard? Oh, okay. Mine was the exact same. Mine was avocado green. Mine belonged to my great grandma. And stuck with us until I was 15. Oh, a dial phone, Adri. I tell you, even when I'm not as old as people think I am, I did experience the good old days, even if when they weren't all that good. They were just old days. Yes, my grandfather one in his office was the buttery yellow type. Why can't it find my iPhone all of a sudden? I just lost touch with it. How on earth did you find a way to rotate the numbers without with a padlock? I'm going to try something else here. Let's see if that will work. It can't be this one, has to be a different one. Let's hope this one works. I think it's my cable that died on me. Oh, I never had a green stove or a dishwasher. Mine was blue. I mean, my grandma's. Sorry if you can hear a weird noise. Click the little knobs the same amount of times. So it was just like a keyboard phone. My nana's fridge was also blue, I think. Like a baby blue kind of thing. It got greenish as it aged, but it was actually blue. This is not the proper cable. Let's try that now. Hopefully this time it'll work. Oh, I think we. Oh, yes. Oh, no, come on. What do you mean not connected? You were just working a second ago. No, you didn't lose me. I'm still here. Okay. Please tell me now it's working. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Finally. We're back. We're back. Okay. Yay. Yes. Okay. We're back. Yes. Kitty stole my seat. And Kitty will go back to the ground. Finally. Oh, yes. I was worried. Really. I thought something bad happened. I mean, it did happen with my cable properly. Why? I do not know. Well, I was just chatting with you girls like a good old telephone call, so no need to cuss. Besides, I wasn't doing anything too interesting anyway. I was waiting for it to dry. You're not liking Colombian chocolate, Adri? That's odd because Colombian has a good cocoa production. And I did eat one from Colombia and I quite liked it. Although I'm partial because I like the less sweet the better, but not every time. On Easter, I eat the most sweet of the sweets, and kids like chocolates, Kinder eggs. I know they don't exist in the US. because it's a choking hazard. It's one of my hardest discovery when I moved to New York, that I could not have Kinder eggs because they didn't exist. And to me, it was a tradition. I always had Kinder eggs as a kid. Ooh, Nissa, I like the orange flavor as well. Although I don't think I have the 91 here to buy. I think we only have the 80 or 75%. You could be too used to sweetened chocolate, which contains higher amounts of cocoa butter. But Brazil is not much better, you know. I'm not criticizing the United States for that because Brazil just now changed the law. The good thing is now I'm using my phone I use for. Here in Brazil, for it to be chocolate, it has to have at least 27% cocoa, which increased because it was worse. It was 20%. But even then, nowadays, most chocolates, air quotes, had to change their labeling for candy bar nowadays. I did find chocolate in the United States too sweet for my taste, except Girardelli. I think that's what it's pronounced, Girardelli. I have no idea how people manage to do that, Nessa, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not look at it as a pond, and I'm trying to color it as exclusively an eye with slim pupils. But in Girardelli, I really liked. I liked their pumpkin spice chocolate, and I like the it's one that is peppermint for the Christmas edition. Loved it. I think it's the thing I brought home the most because when I traveled, um, I stayed in New York for almost a little over a year. I took a break because I had a vacation and I went to Canada and then I came back. And then I traveled to the west coast of the United States. And when I went there, I actually visited the factory, Girardelli's factory. And it was delicious. But my favorite one is one that is not even chocolate. It's I don't know if you have that. It's called Raffaello candy, I think. It's with I think an almond and coconut and some cream and kind of like a wafer on top. Oh, I cannot handle cinnamon chocolate and definitely not chili. I mean, cinnamon chocolate I can just in small amounts, so I never get close to it when I'm PMSing, where I could eat entire bar in one sitting. But the chili one, no, I cannot handle because I don't do pepper. I just don't. Anything pepper-ish that I eat, and I immediately turn beet red, and I start sweating profusely, and I start hyperventilate, and that's not good. So I rarely ever indulge in pepper other than common black pepper and white pepper. So I definitely don't do chili. But the orange chocolate, oh my gosh. The Lindt, I love Lindt chocolate with orange. The Hershey's is okay, but the Lindt is just, oh, divine. I love it. And I am really curious to know. Oh no, okay. Where is my reference image now? I did eat a chocolate from Mexico, but it wasn't like a super fancy one. I ate a chocolate that had insects on it because they had high protein content. But also, I have no idea what it was called because someone brought a really large bar. And I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I don't remember the brand, but it was um I don't know, it was a really big chocolate bar and it they divided I was in a restaurant and they divided in pieces and served and the huge bar was not the bug one. The bug one was a different thing. A friend of mine traveled to Mexico and found it there and then brought it for me just to see if I'll have the guts to eat it. I took a tiny bite and if the texture was ugh, no, it's crispy, but it's not a good kind of crispy. So no, not my thing. And the other one he brought also had, I think they were crickets, the bugs, and he also have had that on the other chocolate he brought, but it was with pepper, blend of peppers. So that was a no for me. I'm gonna see if I can find that sample of an image in my computer. Uh, the good thing is I write it down. Lizard eyes in a bunch of makeup of people dressing up as lizard show up. I want real lizard eye. Can't be that hard to find. I never experimented Hershey's until I was 16 years old because Hershey didn't exist in Brazil. And even when it came here to Brazil, it took a little while to arrive in my city. Oh, okay. Ooh, I'm seeing a lot, but most of them are amber, and I want to make a blue-eyed one. Is there any lizard that has a blue eye in real life? Oh, there's one that has a white eye. The green chai tea Kit Kat from Japan. Uh, I think it's green tea, isn't it? Or is it green chai tea? Because I really don't know that one. I did try the matcha one, and I really liked it. Hi, Chrissy. You did not miss much. Oh, crap. I do not want AI. I want a real photograph of a real animal. Yes, I'm thinking I might. It's because I did find an illustration in a book of a green-eyed dragon. Obviously not a real one. Dragons don't exist, at least unless it's a Komodo one. Might have to change all of my plans. Might have to do them in a different color. I did find a pretty neat. Just because I said it was a neat illustration is AI. which is in itself is not a problem, but I want something to give a realistic look for an eye. That's why I'm looking for a real life photo. This is nice. Oh no, are you kidding me? This is AI? I cannot believe that this is AI. Yes, I'm thinking about changing my plants to green, but I'm still not finding a lot of green eyes for reptiles. Is everything on this page? I think everything on this page is AI. Okay, I'm gonna go to Unsplash because Unsplash I can filter out the AI stuff. Unsplash. Which means I'm gonna have to recolor this entire page. Oh, I can't drink matcha every day. I only do that when I wake up really early, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. If I wake up after 9, which is like at least 2 times a week, then I don't because it will keep me hyper all the way through. I don't even know. Well, the lychee gecko, Rhacodactylus. I have no idea what else it says because I cannot. Okay. The Rhacodactylus leachianus, the species native to New Caledonia. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool eye, too. I don't think I can pull that off. Hey, Audrey, you make matcha. Do you make the traditional one or you just use a blender or something? Because I have the brush thingy that looks like a bamboo broom thingy. Gonocephalus leogaster. Okay. Would be good if I did not close the window. Wow, that's a blue eye. Blue-eyed anglehat lizard, the orange-ringed anglehat lizard, and the tropical forest dragon. Okay. The sad thing is that this guy's pupil, I don't find photos of it completely contracted, and if they do, they're round. In this dragon illustration, it's as lit. So, what is this? Yes, that's what I thought. None of them have this lit in the eye. So I guess we're gonna have to change plans. Let me see. Well, alligator eye is a very cool eye and is leans green. Some of them are amber, but it leans very green. Wow, this photograph from the BBC, it's really cool. Oh, I looked for all kinds of reptiles' eyes. Still looking, still looking. Well, the white alligator has from Houston has blue eyes, but I think it's albino. It could fit. Yeah, I'm looking at the saltwater crocodile. It's pretty cool eyes. Okay, you do the low carb version. Milk protein powder, vanilla extract, banana extract. Oh, it's basically a smoothie. Oh no, I make the traditional one, the one you just put the matcha, really hot water or really hot milk, and you whisk it till everything is foamy and creamy. Oh, I heard you said that. I was really happy because I feel matcha doesn't get enough love. Although in the United States it's very well known. It's Brazil that doesn't know a thing about matcha. Okay. Enormous and dangerously patient, the saltwater crocodile. Okay, I like this guy. Oh, poor fellow has a weird name, Crocodilus porosus. It means pores. I set the link of my inspiration, which means I'm going to have to change the whole color scheme. Well, it's nothing that some yellow ochre doesn't fix. Oh, Audrey, you must rest. Then you must rest, girl. You gotta listen to your body. And I actually am about to end the stream soon enough. I'm gonna have to change the whole idea anyway, so I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. Yes, this lid will be black. I mean, I will make a really dark blue, but yes. Yes, I'm looking for the green slit eye, and I really like this photo. It's a pretty good one because the angle is almost identical to the one in Joseph Katzenberg's illustration. I'm going to save this image to my computer. Salt, water, croc, 3D eyes. I have to be very descriptive when I save stuff, otherwise I don't know how to find them. Images. Reference images. Save. Okay. Nighty night, Andy. Get some good rest. Don't let the bed bugs bite. The Houston Zoo Blanco, a resident white alligator, is one of the only 14 known white alligators in captivity. Oh, he's leucistic. Most visitors do not know the difference between albino and leucistic. An albino is white in appearance, but a leucistic alligator has real pigmentation, which makes him really white. Okay. Only in my chat gonna find someone posting links of alligator eyes. This is a blue eye alligator, and is a real one apparently. I don't know if it's still alive, poor thing, but I hope so, because alligators tend to live many, many years. The white skin of this creature is really freaky. Yes, I found it cool as well. Although to be completely honest here, I don't even know which side he's turned to. If his snout is turned to the left or to the right one. Auntie Chris, where did nighty night come from? Why do we say it? Have a nighty night is night like. Have a night that is night like. Well, in Brazil, some people call as if it was the diminutive. So good nighty would be like good little night, small night, tiny night? I don't know. And it also makes no sense because everyone wants a long night for you to have a really good night's sleep. Really nice. Wow. And the resolution is ridiculously good for something this old. Oh, okay, now I can see another photo of him, and now I understand that he's now just actually turned to the right. Well, oh, we are very silly, but I find it even more silly when languages they are way too literal and like blue fox eyes. Blue fox eyes. Oh, I see. Is this a real fox? Oh, fox cubs' eyes are initially blue because of lack of pigmentation in their irises. When they are born, this allows short wavelength light to be scattered more than longer wavelengths, resulting in a blue appearance. As they mature, the pigment in their eyes increases and blue color transitions to umber. That's nice. I had no idea about this. And I see a lot of pictures of fox because, my channel is called Lucy Fox Art for a reason. I know the Arctic fox, the one that's a little bit smaller than the regular red fox. I know she has really blue eyes too. I hate that we cannot trust what we see anymore. I just clicked on a fox with a blue eye, and this one is fake. Ugh. Found one on a YouTube, no, in a Facebook. Yeah, found one with a really good resolution apparently, but I do not know if it is real or not. Oh no, this is not real. Nope. I zoomed in. It's extremely good resolution, but I zoomed in and I can see that is a very plasticky nose. This is fake. Okay. Oh well. Guess I'm gonna have to stick with the croc. The only one I saw was a puppy fox. Oh no, it's not taxidermy, Chris. It's very computer-like. That's the closest I found, but it was a really good resolution, this one, and this is real. Monsieur La Brosse. I think that's the name of the photographer. Well, I guess that's it today, because I'm definitely not going to paint it all over again today. We'll see. But it is really pretty. I like the blue. Yes, now I'm going to need to sit on it and think about it. And I thought, no, this is going to be quick. Just watercolor paint. And now I'm rethinking everything. So, yeah. It might be that next Saturday I'll be repainting this all over. Ay, ay. I try not to stay in the rabbit hole too long, Chris. At least not while I'm live. Maybe I'll wake up in the middle of the night just thinking about it and googling images for inspiration. Because I tend to do something that I've learned from Erica at Colors, watching her videos. She gets inspiration from Pinterest. I do that too, but most of the time I get inspiration from Unsplash. And there's another website I look for, but I never remember the full name. It's one that is photographers. I think I'm going to use this little fox that I showed you on the link as an inspiration, see what goes out of it. Oh, Jeanette, hello. 1 a.m.? What are you doing up, Jeanette? Shouldn't you be sound asleep? Having dreams of swimming in a color pencil pool? Oh, Chris, I can too. I need to forcefully pull myself out of that one. And luckily you are in chat, so I can think, no, I'm chit chatting with the girls. Let's go back to the real world. Forget the internet for a second. I mean the Google internet. Oh, you're still nursing the doggy. How is he doing? Did he take the broth you made? Oh, not much. Oh, at least he had a few. What is his size, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, I'm picturing something like a Chihuahua, but I know that actually Chris has a Chihuahua and a Xolo dog. Oh, doggy. Poor pup. My pup is here too, but he's sound asleep. Oh, he's a Jackapoo. What is a Jackapoo? Is a poodle with a terrier? I think so, right? Is a Jack Russell Terrier, right? Yes, yes, that's what I figured. I always remember a movie of Jim Carrey, Mask, The Mask. that he had a Jack Russell Terrier. I found him the cutest. Such a smart dog. Oh, but he's not too big. I mean, you can keep him in your lap. He's not like Banner from Chrissy. He's a Labrador pit mix, if I'm not mistaken. So I imagine he's quite bigger. It will be a bit difficult to keep him on your lap. My dog sleeps in my lap, but he's a bit too big for that as well. Definitely not lap sized dog. Yes, well, his name is Banner. Come on. He has to be gigantic. Well, not gigantic, but really large and really buff. Because he's Banner, he's the Hawk. I am getting my camera out here and I'm hoping he's not going to die on me again. Ooh. You've seen my PJs. And now you've seen my doggo. Snow. No. Completely ignoring me on purpose. That's the little monster. The house to the bakery goods truck. He's completely ignoring me. Yes, he's a husky. My rescue pup. Okay. Why is it backwards? It makes no sense. You're still in the rabbit hole. Let me try to see if it understands. Yeah, I think it did understand that it was backwards. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, Kim. Have a good night. Lots of wonderful, colorful dreams. I hope to see you here again. I usually stream on Saturdays in the afternoon. I mean, to me, it's the afternoon. It's probably around 7. I don't know. I don't know where you are. But it's, I think, is your Atlantic time? I guess not. Oh, Eastern Daylight Time. So I guess it's, I think, 2 hours. What time is it over there now? Here is 9 p.m. Oh, so you 1 hour before me. Okay. So that would be 2 in the afternoon when I start streaming, and I go all the way to what would be probably 5 something for you. And then I'll hop onto Annika's stream to watch her because I love watching her on Saturdays. So if you want to drop by, I'll be here. Have a really good night. It's incredible how little I did in 2 hours of streaming. Oh, worry not. Enjoy your nephew's sporting event. Whatever game that is, I hope he wins it. Or track or race or whatever. Oh, he rose. Oh, that's so nice. the Brazilian rowing selection by the Olympic Committee actually trains in my city, and I worked for them for a while. I was their physical therapist for a while. It's pretty cool. Good luck to him. Oh, nice. That's really nice. I hope he wins it. You too. Sleep tight. Well, it's my dinner time. Um, is it your dinner time, or you just deciding to snack? If I were you, I would. Oh, it's dinner, so I would eat pasta for sure. I am a very food girl. I mean, in Brazil, we have a saying. We call that real food. And if we eat anything that is a fast food, including pizza, or maybe just any snack or anything like it, unless it's like real dinner food that you serve on a plate with fork and a knife, and it involved cooking, then we do not call it food. We call it, if it's real food, then it has to have been cooked. For some reason, I don't know why Brazilians have that. Sandwiches are not real food. Pizza is not real food. So unless it's real food in the Brazilian way you're seeing it, for dinner I prefer not. Although sometimes I do have cookies for dinner, like one or two really, because usually that's when I don't really want to go to bed without eating anything at all, but I'm not hungry, so then I just eat a cookie or a biscuit. Oh yes, I'm aware. I lived in the US. I'm aware. I think pizza was my most pizza, hot dog were my most even kebabs were my most common dinner when I lived there. It didn't do great for my weight, to be honest. But when in Rome, but Brazilians have that thing because fast foods were not a thing until early 2000s. So it was a type of thing that people would go out to eat, you know? It was not something you delivered at your house. Nowadays it is, but back then it wasn't. Eating fast food and all those things that Brazilians say is not food, like sandwiches and stuff, for us was an event. We only went in places like that on weekends, you know. Pizza was definitely a weekend thing. It's a Saturday night thing for Brazilians for some reason. I found out it's really frustrating to do watercolor when you had the heater on because it dries almost instantly. Hello, kitty. Oh, you came here to say hello. Really? Oh, nice. Oh, God. There you go. Had to be, right? Oh, ouch. Okay. Ay, 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 ay. let's take it easy on the nails, because I'm not going to drop you. I'm sitting down, woman. Okay. I think it's time we do some manicure in you, because it's really, really sharp, those claws. This is me faffing with my painting. But this is on purpose. I'm faffing so I don't get any ideas of changing it all up. Sometimes I need to listen to my friend's advice, because sometimes I get some crazy ideas. And I give myself twice the work when I should not do it. I mean, I need to start my mermaid pages and I didn't. Did you figure out what's going to be for dinner? Chris, I mean, since everyone else just had dinner. Okay, that was a bit too much. Oh, nice. I really like it. I love pasta primavera. I also like primavera rice, which is something we do here in Brazil, which is rice with a bunch of veggies and chicken broth for cooking the rice. And it's actually really good, and it's another one of those weekend foods for Brazilians. Now I'm starting to get hungry because we're talking about food. And it's been 3 weeks that I'm without my GLP-1 inhibitor medication, so I'm definitely feeling more hungry than before. How old is your eldest? Because eldest could be any age. I know kids are in their 20s or something, right? I remember you said that. Just don't know which one is which age. My boyfriend was making fun of me the other day because I was talking about the dogs. 28, okay. He's old enough to be in the kitchen. What are you doing? Ow, 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 ow. That hurts, that hurts. Okay, no, 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 no need for nails, please. We don't need to go there. I like Katzenberg because he's kind of like Kirby. He tells us what the shadows are, so I don't need to guess. I actually agree, Chris. I very much agree. But at the same time, I am almost 40-year-old woman who lives with her aunt. And granted, it's our house. We bought it together to share a house because we're roomies, but I still kind of live with my parents, if you think of that way, since she basically raised me during my teenage years. She was my entire support system as a kid. So who am I to judge? I do not judge. Okay, Kitty, we're going to have to end the stream and you're going to have to get off my back because it's really hard to hold you with one hand so you don't fall over. And color with watercolor to do shadowing is not just basic blending go. And also, I need to eat. I know you already ate. I heard you eating. But now it's my turn, kitty. Yes, that is very much truth. I mean, if I were to buy a house now, I could never afford it. I mean, think of it. And I bought mine 14, 12, 13, 12, 12 years ago. And the price has already skyrocketed enough that I definitely can't. Yes, I'll join Amy's chat once I've done figuring out what I'm gonna have for dinner because I actually didn't cook anything. Kitty, let's go say goodnight to everyone, shall we? Let's go. Oops, oops, let's go. Oh, okay, alright. Is Amy streaming already? I actually thought she was streaming yesterday. But for some reason, I think it was just my imagination. What's wrong, Chrissy? You said, oh no, did I miss something? Yes, Jeanette, that's the kitty that likes my neck. She was drooling in my shoulder here, but her nails are way too sharp. Gonna have to trim those nails before she can climb with me again. She definitely made a hole in my PJs, my jammies. Oh yes, my kitty. Oh right, that's the thing, Chrissy. Usually I plan something for lunch, and I never finish everything, so I have my leftovers for dinner most of the time. But this time, I had leftover from last night's dinner for lunch, and now I have no idea. So it might be just probably eggs and rice, something like that, with maybe some sesame seed oil, and put it all in a frying pan, stir it all in it, because I don't envision I have any other protein in my fridge in the moment. So I have Japanese style rice, and yes, very easy indeed. And I can put that in the electric Japanese pan, press play, and in 15 minutes it will be ready. In the meantime, I can just do the eggs. But yes, I need to get going because it's already 9:30, and if I don't start cooking now, I'll be having dinner at midnight. I hope all of you had a great evening and a great night, and I hope you all get some awesome rests. No insomnia, preferably. Just nice, sweet dreams. Good night, Jeanette. Please, Jeanette, keep us updated on the status of your doggo, okay? Let us know how he's doing. You can send messages on Instagram if you want, or just post a comment on any of my posts or videos, okay? Because I want to know how that doggo's doing. Good night, Jen. Had an amazing night. Thank you for being here. Good night, Chrissy. Good night, Nessa. I don't know if you're going to hop over to Amy's as well. Is there anyone else that I did not say goodbye to? Is Laurie here? I'm not sure, but if you are here, Laurie, good night. Kim already left. I think Laurie left too, I'm not sure. Yes, Kim already left. And if you want to hang out a little bit, Jeanette, in Amy's live stream, I'll be there for a little while. Good night, everyone. Love you all. Bye bye.